Good morning.
Good morning. We are back.
Top of the Monday to you.
Yes, cheers. Back in our normal places.
That's right. All
Okay.
right. I'm going to jump in.
Yep,
I'll read this time. I'll get our Monday going.
love it.
The order and the medium of feedback. Who do you pay attention to?
Pause. Hold on. I was reading yesterday's.
Oh. Hey, this weekend was some good ones too, and they were nice and golden cookie, like fortune cookie. I've been trying that phrase, golden cookie. It's
Uh-oh.
also kind of weird. Like if I was
Oh, that's true.
golden, I'd be
Yeah.
like, golden cookie.
Okay.
Fortune, golden, I don't know.
Sorry, I have the right one pulled up now. So this will be my first time reading it because I was reading yesterday's on accident thinking it was today's.
Yeah, but you're primed with the Godin.
Mhm.
Okay, here we go. The order and the medium of feedback. Who do you pay attention to? Do you respond or react to the feedback that's coming in? Do you seek it out or wait for it to arrive? Does vivid online feedback from anonymous trolls carry more weight than honest but more subtle feedback from actual customers? Pick your feedback, pick your future. Which sort of feedback changes your behavior or attitude? Delivered with enthusiasm or a scowl, in private or in public, in writing or verbally. The goal might not be to find a way to get, let me try that again. The goal might not be to find a way to only get positive applause because your project may very well benefit from thoughtful feedback. The useful path is to figure out which sort of feedback suits you in what stage of the project. Quote, it's not for you, and quote, I don't want to show it to you right now, are valid approaches to our creative process.
So good.
Pick your feedback, pick your future. I feel like that's what the title of the blog should have been.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
what
a
was
powerful,
the order and the medium of feedback was the title. Okay. Yeah.
yeah. It's like when and how to receive feedback well, I think. Okay, so as I read, where did your mind go?
Well, feedback is my favorite F word. Maybe. That's debatable, but it's one of my favorites. I love feedback. I do a lot of talks on this topic, mainly because when I was CMO at Leader, feedback was a really big pillar of what we were trying to teach leaders about and what our
Mm.
software did. Um, and so I am just reminded of something I learned from my boss, the CEO of Leader, that he taught me because I am just so self-critical that when I receive feedback, I often, at least in that season, I think there's a lot of learnings there, but I would take feedback so seriously and personally. And one of the things that he constantly coached me to do was chew the meat and spit out the bone. Like it's your responsibility to discern, which is what Seth is saying here, to discern what is actually applicable to moving this forward and what is not. And I think, especially when I get feedback from people who I perceive as smarter than me or better than me or more successful than me, I always default that they're right and I must be wrong because I, again, like have a very, I come across very confident, but I actually have a very loud critic inner voice. So it's like,
Mhm.
oh, I must be like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm dumb. So, like, and they're successful or wealthy or smart or have a, CEO title or whatever the thing might be, the status symbol. And I default to them. And he would just constantly coach me like, you've got to filter what do you think is right about their feedback and leave the rest behind. And I think about that a lot. That's probably one of my biggest lessons that I learned from him that I'm still terrible at, but trying to. Um, and I think I am doing better because I own my own company now. So the stakes, isn't this interesting? This is just the way like that I'm wired, which is probably a little
Yeah.
insane. I am 100% okay making mistakes on my own behalf. So it's like, I feel like I'm better at receiving feedback now where I'm like, whatever, you didn't like it, move on. There's a million other people in the world. But when I'm representing someone else's company or someone else's brand, which is like the role I was at Leader, where I felt like the stakes were so high because I didn't want to mess up for our shareholders and for our team and for our
Right.
customers, that I was very hard on myself about feedback. So that's what came to mind for me. What about you?
Hmm. Yeah. Well, a few things. When he said, when he asked, does vivid online feedback from anonymous trolls carry more weight? Um, there was this moment where this is like this is a totally different way to go with this, but I loved. Okay, pause. Discernment. You said the word discernment,
Yeah.
and I think that was also a big. As I was reading this morning, the word discernment came to mind, and it was like, yeah, this is all about discerning who and when to listen to what, and so you crushed it. You said discernment, so I feel like I can go to this other place,
Yeah.
but so there was this there's this YouTuber named Destin Sandlin, and he does Smarter Every Day, which is like a pretty popular YouTube channel, and he does a side project called Sound Traveler,
Hmm.
and so you and I got to participate in that when we were doing some travels overseas, and what's so funny is I never thought that like anonymous trolls would be a thing for me until he posted the video that featured like us, our adventure.
I haven't heard
And
this
there,
before. You got trolls?
yes, well, so there was a moment where trying to see how to approach this. I asked him to edit something out, just some audio, because of anyway, it was important that this one tiny piece of information was removed from the audio.
Hmm.
And so I asked him to, and he was kind, and he did that. But you would have never known. The video didn't show the edit. Even like it didn't go quiet for a second. Somehow it almost just like removed a channel of what I said in this moment. But if to a just a to someone who just watched the video,
Yeah.
it sounded as if I was ignoring someone asking me a question, and it felt like I was being culturally like insensitive to the moment, to the kindness of this person. But what I said, it was important that it was not in the video for
Yes.
and it wasn't like crazy aggressive. It wasn't, but there were a couple comments that were like, "Oh, typical American, ignoring the local," and I was like,
Urgh, if you only knew.
"Oh, you don't even know." And like,
Mm.
so it's so funny because like, I actually, they got me. They got me. I responded with something like not snarky back or like trying to get back, but just like, "Hey, I was trying to explain myself to a troll, which is
Yeah,
like,
trying to
what
be
do you do?"
defensive. Yeah. Or like in a good way,
So
not like, yeah, but like trying to defend yourself.
yeah, like I kind of wish you knew, but I had to do a thing. Um, but so Destin, in his kindness and being a veteran of YouTube, having massive viral hits on YouTube and having a job as a YouTuber, he just reached out to me, texted me, and was like, "Hey man, just don't engage, don't
That's
engage the trolls."
awesome.
And I was like, I even was like, Destin, I know, man. I fell for it. We have clients that what we do is we say don't engage with the trolls, and it got me because like it's easy to say it and say as an advisor in this project, don't worry about the trolls. They're ignorant or don't have context or just straight mean, and that got me as it was like
Yeah.
my chance. And so anyway, I share this story simply because to encourage anyone that's like trying to make something. Like here we are putting ourselves out here, messing up, low production, probably quoting something and attributing it to the wrong person, or saying a stat and it's wrong. And here's the whole world has the opportunity to give feedback. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
trying to loop it back in. And so um, just know, just like I had to learn, and I still learn anytime I put something out there. And maybe it's all for me, Holly. Maybe this is for me to like just preach to my own self, is to say like, as I get more public and as I try to build, like use your discernment. Know that not all feedback is productive and needed at the time, and not all feedback is helpful.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That was a journey. Thank you for going with me on that. But
No, I had never heard that story before. So yeah, that's super. And shout out to Destin for, helping you see that. Because then
yeah,
it's like you felt those feelings of like anger or frustration, and then you feel like the guilt and like of like, dang it, I fell for that, or. And so to kind of guide you through that for sure. And I, I have thought. Well, I was at a woman named Shannon Watts who started, of course, I can't remember the name of the organization, but her book is right over there sitting in my backpack because I've been reading it. Anyway, she started a massive nonprofit that's Moms Against Gun Violence. That's not what it's called, but it's a similar name to that, and created an incredible movement from being pulled. It was during Sandy Hook, and just feeling like I've got to do something, and created like a Facebook group, and it just, went wild with moms that wanted to rally with her in that mission. And Brene Brown was interviewing her here in Houston about a month ago, and I went to the book launch. And that was one of the things, like, Brene really stopped and spent probably about 10 minutes on that topic of like, before you start something, like, you just need to realize the consequences of that people will be out to get you. People will
Mm.
give you feedback and just to know that you got to have thick skin and know what voices you're listening to. So I've thought about that if I ever do, have something that makes that big of an impact in the world. I think just a practical thing is to have someone who reads those for you. Like, I hear like a lot of actors or actresses will like not even read reviews, or not even read, they have their publicist or their whoever to read those, and that's not practical for the majority of us. But maybe it's a friend or, a spouse who, if you're putting things on YouTube, like, they can read them for you and then tell you what you should or shouldn't take away from that. So just, yeah, being very discerning about what feedback you take and when. But it's more of an art than a science, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And so we kind of covered, that's a couple of maybe different angles. There's the feedback of creating something and a project or a product that you're building, like when to take what feedback. And then ultimately, I think as creators or builders, just what voices to just tune out and not listen to, or have a good system around how to like filter it way out there.
Yeah.
Protect yourself from that noise.
Can I say one more thing before we wrap? Is
Yeah.
because we've kind of talked about like personal feedback. My biggest advice would be, from a business perspective, get your product, like, get a minimum viable product to market as quickly as possible to get customer feedback. I feel like I've been in a situation before where that was done really, really well, where it was like, hey, this isn't perfect. It's very minimal, but we're going to get it out there, and got feedback and iterated really fast. And I feel like I've been on the other end of that, where it's like, we are removed from our customers. We're taking a really long time to develop this thing because we think they need it. And then we get it out there, and the response isn't what we thought. Whereas if we had shipped it faster and more minimally, I wonder what it could have evolved or turned into had we gotten customer feedback a lot sooner. So I just think that is a time where I will always push people, like, get it out there as quickly as possible, which is like Seth's whole thing, like, just ship it.
Ship it. Man.
Because your customers will tell you what the market will respond and tell you what you should do next if you're listening. So,
It's great.
yeah. All right. Well, thanks for listening. Go to sethsaidwhat.com. We'd love to hear your opinion and thoughts and feedback
And
on
give us your
that
feedback.
in the little discussion chat area. And yeah, we can't wait to hear from you. And also make sure you're subscribed wherever you want to listen, whether it's on Substack or Apple or Spotify or Pocket Cast. That's your favorite, Daniel.
I love me some pocket casts.
All right. Well, talk to you tomorrow. Have a good day over there.
Yep, you too. Bye, Holly.
Bye.